Alright, once more, 9 p.m. video because I forget. I should start doing I should I should do these in the morning. Maybe like when I'm kind of getting into my little creative flow. But I didn't do that today. So I will instead, I think we'll talk about, I have not made that list of topics. So I think we'll talk about, the Switch 2. I don't have one, so I'm using this as a reference. Little visual aid. But it's a little surreal that that exists now. Because I remember being like 11 years old, getting my first one. I remember being like, yeah, I remember having like a Wii U. I don't know. It's just kind of weird to fully. I think it's weird that the Switch essentially just kind of represents my teen years. Um, and it is also equally weird to just be like, oh hey, it's out there, you know. I'm sure it'll be more surreal when I actually have my hands on one. Um, but there's something. Yeah, I don't know. I could probably talk more about that. Um, but I don't. I don't actually have a ton to say of that, or like along those lines. It's cool though. What else is there to discuss? I beat Deltarune Chapter 3. That's pretty neat. Crazy cliffhanger, my gosh. I did try to take a little bit of a break before hopping right into the next chapter, um, which was equally good. Like, honestly, the way it's shaping up, I'm not terribly far into chapter 4, but the way it's shaping up, chapter 4 might end up being my favorite chapter of the whole thing. Um, I just really like the aesthetic. It's pretty cool. Kind of ish reminds me a little of Porter Robinson's like Nurture. Not fully. It's just like little bits and pieces of it are giving me that in chapter 4. Um, so yeah, we'll see how that goes. Um, but yeah, I've been playing that. I am looking forward to eventually seeing what the secret boss is for the Switch 2 version, because that has a exclusive boss you fight with like the mouse. That's pretty cool. I think it's neat that both Undertale and now Deltarune will have a Nintendo exclusive boss. It's pretty neat, and I like that I will get to experience the secret, the non Switch 2 room, um, where that boss is on Switch 2. I'll get to experience that now, and then I'll get to see the Switch 2 one later. Um, but yeah, I don't know. This is what happens when I don't have topics. I've thought about not doing these every day. I feel like I kind of made my point. Um, but I don't know. Maybe there's a lesson to learn here in the act of BSing to a camera for 3 minutes. Um, but yeah, I don't have much more to say, unfortunately. Look at this. It's pretty neat. It's actually something I thought about doing is like, in the video, just showing off a random little thing sitting around. I think I did once. I showed off a highlighter. I showed off a box of pencils one time, and now I'm showing off this remote. Pretty neat. I thought about having like an ending theme for these because it's just a little trope I like. I really dig an ending theme. Um, haven't done that yet. I might make one. Um, I thought about worst case scenario. I could just use a Deltarune song because those don't get copyrighted or get like copyright strike on YouTube. So I thought about doing that, but I don't know. I kind of think it'd be more special if it was my own thing, um, or at least something a little obscure. Uh, I know definitely on main channel, which I don't think I've even ever plugged here because I don't do anything on it. Um, but on that channel, I think I would definitely want to have an original song to be the outro, just because I'm thinking like back to my favorite like YouTubers, um, like your Scott the Waz's, your Arlos, whatever. Think back to those guys, and they all have an outro. I'm even thinking like something like Good Mythical Morning. They have like an intro, so I feel like I probably would I would definitely like on the main channel incorporate those things. Um, but who knows? Who knows how far off that is? I could see myself doing something within the next year or so on there. Um, it'll just depend because it's definitely like the back end of my like creative creative projects list. Like my main thing that I'm working on right now is the web novel, and that's going to take the majority of my energy. So we'll see. But I feel like I could crank out a solid 30-minute YouTube video if I wanted. So and I guess that's why we're doing this, so I can get at the weird whatever, and I can be more comfortable in front of a camera, be more comfortable uploading things just in general, keep me more comfortable talking in this kind of way. It's actually probably the main thing is just that I've been learning from this is about effectively communicating to a camera, because I feel like it's different than to a person, and so it's probably the biggest thing I've been taking away from this. I've been like actually watching these back and trying to figure out what I think works, what doesn't. I don't know if I'm doing a great job with that, but I mean, like I said, that's honestly, like I said, the main reason for doing this channel, is to make sure I'm like practicing those things now when they don't matter, because I don't really care about stuff like, views, whatever, on this channel. I don't think these are of like strong value to your average person. I think they're kind of neat in that I think these videos are a cool little, very low budget, low effort look at some thoughts or ideas, which I don't think you get a lot of in this form factor on YouTube. I think you get a lot of, I feel like YouTube's drifting in a very like highly produced manner, which I do as a viewer, honestly, I do kind of like in a lot of cases, but I do think it also makes something a lot more low budget like this more valuable. And I actually, harping back to something I've talked a little bit about, I did a video on about like making stuff worse, and in hindsight, I do definitely think part of the reason I like making these actively bad is so they stand out amongst a sea of MrBeast videos. Not that I think this is worth your attention necessarily over a MrBeast video or something like high quality that is also highly produced. I think those things are definitely more worth your time, but at the same time, I think this is somewhat worth having on the internet. If anything, I think they'll just be cool to look back on in a few years from just a creative perspective. So, and there we go. I think I actually found something to talk about just by sitting down. So there you go. And yes, the item of the day, I will start doing this now. The item of the day is this little TV remote. It's got a little, I have no clue if you can see it, but there's a little, in fact, I'm gonna bet you can't. There's like a little notch, like right here, that like catches my fingernail. I like to mess with it when I'm watching TV. It's got a nice little trackpad too. You definitely can't make it out, but it's got like a little circle trackpad, like a ring of buttons around it, which is very nice. I've used some remotes where it's a full just trackpad. I think it's dumb, but actually I do like having the trackpad when I can use it and also just click. It's pretty cool. So yeah, end of video.